Good morning. Welcome back to First Talk with Hal Row on 1290 WHKY Talk Radio for the Greater Hickory Metro. We're waiting for Mayor Rudy Wright for the monthly Monday morning meeting with the mayor. There he is, Mr. Mayor, coming on in. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you, sir. I know it's rainy and nasty out there. Hey, I like your cup there. I know you got some tea in there. That's what Dean Martin used to call it. It was tea, a little tea. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. A lot to. Oh, look at this here. And Mayor going high tech on us. Very nice. Getting. That's all right. Getting the tablet out this morning. So you're all set and ready to go with that. You know, I got a couple questions I want to ask you. Of course, certainly about the results of the most recent election. And, of course, I want to ask you, too, with all that's going on in the city, would you rather see it spread out, or do you like it all at one time? We're getting busy around here because we're going to have the Greater Hickory Classic and Rock Barn coming up. We've got Oktoberfest happening same weekend. We've got a big quilt exhibit going on the same weekend.
The LR Homecoming.
The LR Homecoming. Let me move this over here.
Yeah, we've got the LR Homecoming, and everything's going on this weekend, that same weekend.
And so we'll talk a little bit about that this morning. But first, let's talk about this because I'm sure it's on everybody's mind. We had a big election, special election here in the city of Hickory. You made it no bones about the fact which you were side that you were on this. It was a close vote, and I think that pretty much everybody after the vote is over, everybody has been respectful. Everybody has kind of shaken hands and then said, okay, it's been on the ballot, and the voters have decided. So I just wanted you to comment on it so that we can move ahead and take it from there.
Well, I'm delighted that we are able to continue the wonderful system we have, the at-large and ward representation system. It's the best ever devised, particularly for a city our size. I was shocked at the number of yes votes, but they had the other side had a lot of time to get prepared for this. We had a relatively shorter amount of time. I think momentum in the election was on our side, and we were pleased with the outcome. We're going to move forward the way we always have. I have always stood ready to talk to voters, and if that's what it's about, I'm going to. How many times have I given out my cell phone number on your show?
Just about every time.
238-1465. I answer my own phone. I operate it out of my office, my Prius, and but believe me, I want to talk to you about things that are on your mind. It may be that we will disagree on something, and so at some point one or the other of us has to accept the fact, hopefully both, that we're just going to disagree.
Right.
Now, what I hated about this election was the ugly stuff that I'm going to call them the opposition. You know, we always talk about the loyal opposition in politics, but the opposition stooped to some tactics that were absolutely shameful in anybody's political book, much less Hickory's, to call us elite. Hal, I grew up the son of an 8th grade dropout. Incidentally, my wonderful dad, who's a very smart man, who lost his mother at age 12, and his father deserted the family. He said he had not had anybody wondering where he was or when he was going to get home since he was 12 years old. And he later got his GED and became an ordained minister.
Did not know.
Very smart man.
Did not know.
But He he was a fixer at the knitting mill. And,
fashion hosiery.
Well, full fashion hosiery.
I remember that.
And I'll never forget him coming home and says, these women are not going to wear those hose with seams up the back anymore, so they're closing up our plant. And then later, after unemployment for a time, and a lot of concern on our part, which to this day affects me when I think of particularly the children affected by the economic malaise that we've endured and the unemployment. But but my dad operated off his hip pocket. He'd get paid on Friday, put his cash in his pocket. The paymaster gave him cash. He put it in his hip pocket. He paid his 10% to the church. And then he lived off of that for the whole week, and the next week he got paid again and filled his hip pocket up again, okay? He told me, he said, when I go see Carter Beamer, now I'll never forget Carter Beamer. He was the town manager. Carter Beamer, you never saw him without a black hat, black suit, and a tie. That was Carter Beamer. He was the town manager. And he said, when I go see Carter Beamer, he said, I don't always get the answers I like, but he said, I think I get the same answers the millionaires do. That has governed my feeling about politics from the time I was 8 years old when he first told me that. I said, that's the way it ought to be. And for them to call us the elite is unconscionable.
That was the negative.
That really bothers me, the elite. And then to tell a lie about the amount of cost of the sales over the square. There were things that you could say about that or any other project, but why would you just pick a number and tell a lie?
Those were the negatives.
So now let's turn to the positives.
That's where I was.
My number's 238-1465. I stand ready to talk to any voter at any time over the referendum or any other matter.
When we come back, we're going to talk about a lot of things that are happening in the city of Hickory with the mayor of the city. 238-1465 is his number. Call us on the air this morning, 327-WHKY, 327-9459. It's the monthly Monday morning meeting with the mayor. Mayor Rudy Wright joins us this morning on First Talk. Good morning. Welcome back to First Talk with Hal Row on 1290 WHKY Talk Radio for the Greater Hickory Metro. It's the monthly Monday morning meeting with the mayor. Mayor Rudy Wright, the mayor of the city of Hickory, joins us live in the studio, taking your questions, your phone calls. 327-WHKY, 327-9459. When we went to the break, I asked about the positives, and you said your phone number. But before we came back on the air, you said, I wanted to make another comment, not just me, but other members of council. As far as a positive out of this goes,
yeah,
you want to make this people aware of this as well.
Well, if you Google Hickory and go to the official website, you'll have contact information on every council member. I can assure you that every council member will be glad to hear from you. They'll be glad to answer your questions to the best they can or get back to you with an answer. So I just recommend that you remember that we are anxious to talk to you. I've given out my telephone number dozens of times here and other places. That is my cell phone number. I do answer it.
I know this happened a couple of years back, but I know there's a service line for the city of Hickory that you can pick up and you can call, and it's at City Hall. Now, this is for potholes, lights being out, stuff like this. But if you want to talk to your city council member, if you want to talk to your representative, I know this because I picked up the phone and called my aunt back when she was with us. She had a situation at her house that she needed taken care of, and I didn't know to call the city action. It's called an action line.
Yeah.
But her representative for her ward, I called and talked to them, and then they said we'll be glad to contact the appropriate party for that. I don't think they actually went out there and changed the light bulb, but I think they got it taken care of. So whatever it is, if it's that pothole out in front of the house, or if it's a situation that you want to take care of that you feel needs to be addressed citywide, talk to your representative.
Yeah.
Very good. 327-WHKY, 327-9459. We've got some, we were talking about this during the break, and you've got some feelings on this, but everything, we're spread it out. We've got a, believe it or not, this is, we've got starting up this weekend. I believe it's this upcoming weekend. But anyway, we've got Lenore Ryan Homecoming. We've got Oktoberfest, which is huge. We've got the Greater Hickory Classic at Rock Barn presented by Kia Motors. All kinds of things.
Well, those are the following weekend,
right? But I was trying to think of the upcoming weekend. I think it's the Lake Norman Folk Art Festival.
Oh yeah.
It happens this weekend.
Yeah.
So you've got that. That's where I was going to start, but I didn't want to say that till I've got the date right. But I think that comes up this weekend, the Lake Norman Folk Art Festival. So bring the family and the friends in early. Let them stay all week, and then the next week, the following weekend, that's when you have Oktoberfest, the final days of the tournament. The International Quilt Show at the Greater Hickory Metro Convention Center, which will bring people from around the region. Yeah, do you like it all at one time, or do you like it all? Would you like to see it spread out some? Because we were talking about this during the break, and your feelings.
I'm going to take the political approach and just say I like it.
Okay,
I like them.
Like them all.
I like them. I'll tell you, if you want to have fun, go down to the Folk Art Festival. And there was a great article yesterday in the Catawba section of the Charlotte Observer on Robert Eads.
Okay. The barn. The big barn.
The big barn that he painted. But Robert is a trained lawyer and actually practiced law here in Hickory, but he's an artist, a folk artist, and I bought one of his. He does snakes out of saplings, pieces of trees and limbs, if you will. And he does snakes. He paints them and decorates them and makes snakes out of them. And I thought I had a special snake. I paid $150 for it. And I was tickled with it. I really liked it. I thought I had a special snake.
Right.
And then I went up to the warehouse, Sarah Frisbee's place there beside Cooperative Christian Ministry. Friday night, I played Big Bill Bumpkin, the mayor of Chicago in the 20s, in the murder mystery to benefit Cooperative Christian Ministries.
Oh, wow.
But I'm up there, and he painted a snake that she bought that has 3 heads on it. I don't have anything. Now I got to go check him out and see if I can get a better snake. But, folks, it will be fun. You would have fun at that. And you'd have fun at, certainly, LR Homecoming. I was at the game Saturday night. We got our quarterback back, and we put a licking on North Greenville Crusaders, I'll tell you. 2 church-affiliated schools going at it, but I tell you, there was some popping. But I think we won 52-10, and it was every time LR got the ball, you said they can go all the way anytime, and several times they did. That kind of offset the loss the Hokies had Saturday. How'd I get off on this? But anyway,
I want to go back to the 3-headed snake at some point. Now let's move ahead. So we talked about the Lake Norman Art Festival. You got that the weekend prior.
Right.
Then coming up, Lenore Ryan Homecoming.
Right.
Now you've got a lot of folks who went to LR who are going to be coming in, and they're going to have some different entertainment options and some different things to do.
Well, you've got the Hanley Painter Golf Tournament.
Right.
You've got the big dance on Friday night. Then you've got the game on Saturday, the parade, and all the other festivities.
Right.
Folks, that will be a great time. And if you're picking which day to go to the golf tournament, you might say, I'm going to do Lenore Ryan on Saturday or Friday, and I'll do the golf tournament on Sunday. But there's going to be so much to do. And you know what? It doesn't cost a fortune, any of those things. It's just a great opportunity. Oktoberfest is free, right?
Absolutely free and open to the public. Nothing down there. You can go down and look at it, and people watch for absolutely nothing. And that's one of the best. Let me tell you, that's one of the best things about Oktoberfest. But all the people watching. But all the music is free. All the entertainment. We had some folks in from Oktoberfest the other day, and they were talking about if you go to see these artists in clubs where if you go to another venue, you could be paying some to all you check out everything from the Oompa Band to some of the folks that you're going to see on the new emerging artists on the Hickory Music Factory stage to the main headliners that you're going to see. You're talking about some major bucks there. So to have these folks come and perform free, and to have the great sponsors in the city of Hickory pick up the tab, it's a wonderful opportunity for people just to go enjoy an event like this.
Well, and the city of Hickory doesn't pick up much. I don't know if we do anything other than in kind, like the cleanup crews and stuff like that. I'm not sure. I'd have to check on that, but I don't believe that Hickory has any
sponsored stages.
I don't think so, but I could be wrong on that.
A lot of work that's done with the picking up the garbage, the power, all that kind of stuff, inspection, stuff like that. So that's a good thing.
And we're anxious to see how people react to the sales on the square. This is going to be the time that we, in fact, have an awful lot of outside visitors here seeing that for the first time. And
right, didn't think about that.
And we're anxious to see what the reaction will be.
So you've got Lenore Ryan Homecoming, you've got Oktoberfest, which is free to the public, no charge there, and you got the Greater Hickory Classic at Rock Barn, presented by Kia Motors, which gives us national and international recognition. You've got, we've just had the Ryder Cup, so the interest for golf is accelerated there somewhat, or people who may have watched
Wasn't that a wild finish yesterday?
Well, yeah.
Well, if you just love, if your love of golf exceeds your patriotism, like mine does,
there you go.
It was a great day. I would like for it to go the other way, absolutely. But you could tell our players were trying hard. They didn't cave in. It was not, they didn't choke or anything. It's just some of those putts just wouldn't go in.
We'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about the Greater Hickory Classic and what that means for the city, and of course other things going on with the city of Hickory right here on First Talk with Hal Row on 1290 WHKY Talk Radio for the Greater Hickory Metro. Call the mayor this morning, 327 WHKY, 327-9459. Good morning. Welcome back to First Talk with Hal Row on 1290 WHKY Talk Radio for the Greater Hickory Metro. Real quick, I want to talk about the City of Hickory and the Greater Hickory Classic at Rock Barn, presented by Kia Motors. What this does for the City of Hickory and the opportunities that it gives the city, because I think that we all know by now some of the things that happen with Apple. And I don't know this for a fact. This is what you hear. Yeah. But you hear that the folks from Apple came. They were able to be. They had some entertainment options, and they took a look at the area and said, "Well, this is great. This is big time. This is what we're looking at here. Maybe, who knows? It maybe helped with perception." But they got to meet a lot of people, shake a lot of hands. My understanding is they were out there. Who knows how much business can be brought in or conducted or done with this, because it's a wonderful format for that. It gives a wonderful opportunity for people to get out and walk around a casual situation and to say, wow, this is great, because you got golfers who you see on the leaderboards of the Champions Tour who are right here, who are accessible, that people can shake hands with. And it really is, we're used to it now. It's been 10 years. Yeah. But you think about some of the communities who would love to have that event, to love to have a Champions Tour event come to their area. Let's talk about the Greater Hickory Classic at Rock Barn, presented by Kia Motors, and what it does for the city of Hickory. I'd like to spend a moment on that, if we could, sir.
Well, the exposure we get for Hickory is probably as good as we are getting, other than the fact that everybody knows Hickory as a furniture name.
Right.
But what happens is, excuse me, excuse me.
That's all right.
My allergies are kicking in.
No.
What happens is the Economic Development Corporation brings in the consultants who consult with corporations on where they're going to locate their next operation.
Okay.
So I think what happened with Apple was those consultants were here. We didn't know that they were talking with Apple.
Okay.
At that time.
Gotcha.
But they came back because they learned about Hickory and got an opportunity to meet people through the Greater Hickory Classic. So you got the direct economic impact, the heads in bids.
Heads in bids, exactly.
As well as the image, the Greater Hickory Classic at Rock Barn, the image builder it has,
right.
And the opportunity to bring people, leaders from around the state and business consultants from around the nation here and showcase what we have to offer.
I think it's a wonderful opportunity for the community and for everybody involved, and to have that complete coverage on the Golf Channel, to have those images of Hickory broadcast throughout the nation, and people say, well, that looks like that'd be a great place to retire. Let's maybe think about that. That looks like a wonderful place, and to have the shots from there. And it does. When they have it on the Golf Channel, man, oh man, I mean, it looks good.
Oh, well, hey, and people who see what we have to offer here, they like what they see. There are people who just say, I'm going to have to live in a city. And I understand that. There are people, my son right now, who is 31, he's just going to live in a city. He lives in Washington. He loves it. I don't know why he loves it, but I love visiting him, and I'm glad he loves being there.
Right, so somebody can visit in D.C.,
yeah,
right? Go see a Skins game.
Well, he was just telling me he has tickets to the Panthers and the Skins. So,
there you go.
But he didn't have one for dear old Dad.
Oh, no, that's
but that's okay. But there are people who just want to live in a city. But if you want tremendous quality of life and access to all the amenities of a larger, not huge, but larger city like we have in Charlotte.
Yeah, Democratic National Convention.
Yeah, we've got a chance to take advantage of that. I've made it to the airport one morning. That was early. I didn't stop for a single light, but I made it to the airport in 55 minutes.
Wow, that's pretty good. And
I did not. It was not real heavy foot either.
Good way to put it, Mr. Mayor. I want to ask you, we can start with the political candidates tomorrow. They're going to be coming in starting tomorrow.
Oh, they are?
Yes, sir. And I wanted to ask if there is, in the past, you have not done this, but I did not know if this upcoming election, if there's anybody that you are going to personally endorse or anybody that you would say, this is the person who I would like to see. In the past, that's not been something that you've done, but I did not know maybe in this case, in this election, you felt it was important, or if there was somebody that you felt like there was somebody that you'd like to talk about specifically for the upcoming election in our area.
Oh my goodness, Hal! I'm pulling for whoever gets elected.
There you go.
The voters will decide that, and my opinion on it is just not that important. I'll express my opinion in the booth.
Okay, sure.
And we are a nonpartisan city.
Okay.
And it's very important that we stay that way. That's all I'm going to say. It's very important. And if somebody wants to call me at 238-1465, I'll talk about why it's important, and I'll talk about what happens when you stray from that. We are nonpartisan. So I'm pulling for whoever wins. I'll go to Raleigh and do my best to work on behalf of the people of Hickory with whoever wins.
Very good. And that's because we've got the Catawba County Board of Commissioners coming up. We've got the new, I just saw on Friday, I believe it was in Friday's paper, maybe it was Saturday's or yesterday, I can't remember, but they were talking about the new district lines, because people are going to be going to the polls and they're going to say, well, I want to vote for X candidate, or maybe they're going to say, I want to vote for Patrick McHenry. Well, you can't vote for Patrick McHenry any longer because he's not in the 10th district. He is the 10th district, but the 5th is moved over. So you're going to really have to take a look at your voter registration where you are, and take a look at the new lines that have been set for, I guess, just about everybody other than county commissioners. You're taking a look at new districts for state representatives.
County commissioners don't have districts.
No, the county commissioners is straight. So that's the one that did not change.
That's at large.
Yeah, that's the one that did not change. Other than county commissioners, I guess you're going to have new districts for the North Carolina State Senate, and I guess because of a little redistricting that happened with new district lines drawn. So you've got new House of Representatives for Washington, and the State House of Representatives as well. So we want to check that out.
Well, and And of course, the North Carolina, well, the congressional districts and North Carolina House districts, those are redistricted in a partisan political way. There's no question. It's done. And we redistricted in Hickory our wards only to bring the numbers in agreement. We have to, by state law, we can only have a certain variance from one ward to another. So we had to do some slight shifting of lines in order to maintain about 6,700 people in each of the 6 wards. Because over time, for some reason, the population shifts a little, and we had gotten out of whack. We were, if our numbers had been right, we wouldn't have redistricted at all. Right. But our numbers were not right.
327 WHKY 327-9459. We talked a little bit about economic development earlier with Scott Millar and, of course, the people at EDC, Ms. Pruitt, and the rest of them bringing in the folks for the golf tournament. Local economic development. We've talked about the fact that you attend a good number of ribbon cuttings, a lot of new businesses, a lot of things going on there. Give us a progress report, if you would, on jobs in the city of Hickory, new businesses in the city of Hickory, and maybe just a real quick presentation or pitch on why people, I hate using the word pitch, I don't like that word, but why people should maybe be taking a look at the city of Hickory as a place to do business,
Well,
new businesses or ribbon cuttings. And we got to go to a break. There's the music. Okay. When we come back, we'll talk about that. Jobs in the city of Hickory next with the mayor. 327 WHKY 327-9459. Good morning. Welcome back to First Talk with Hal Row on 1290 WHKY Talk Radio for the Greater Hickory Metro. As always, I want to thank the mayor of the city of Hickory, Rudy Wright, for joining us this morning. Takes time out of his busy schedule. He's got a job other than the mayor of the city of Hickory. Takes time out of his busy schedule as mayor and as an independent small business owner within our community to take time to do this. So pick up the phone, 327-WHKY, 327-9459. Here's there to take your phone calls or your questions. I want to talk a little bit about economic development and a little bit about the job situation in Hickory, where we are with grand openings, new businesses that you may want to talk about, and a little bit about why it's a good place to do business in the city of Hickory. Mr. Mayor.
Well, we continue to have a great labor force out there, and we have some opportunities through the community college, the Center for Engineering Technologies, and other resources to train workers for specialized needs of employers. And we have a workforce out there that wants to work and would like to be trained for those new jobs, and we're trying to get them. We've had some encouraging things. I recently attended a celebration of the start of production at Punker, USA.
Right.
Which is the,
That's okay.
the U.S. headquarters for a German company that's involved with airflow and air movement and air cleaning, and they make huge fans, and they make tiny fans,
right,
that for moving air, and they expect growth. And I was very encouraged by the people who work there and how happy those folks are working for that company, and what great jobs they have. Our successes don't seem to come in bunches like we would like. The last huge success, one of the huge successes was Target. Target is a good win for us, the distribution center, because it doesn't displace any other jobs. That was 850 new jobs. Right. The call centers, until you get to a certain point anyway, the call centers don't displace other jobs.
Right.
So those, Convergys, Fiserv, those have been huge wins. But the companies like Punker and other high-tech companies, TurboTech, some others we brought in, they are also very important to our future. Hopefully they will grow and will bring in not just the impact of their customers, but the impact of their suppliers, that their suppliers may locate near here and build up industries around supplying TurboTech or Punker or some of these other high-tech companies.
We just saw the completion of the agreement on the multi-jurisdictional park that the City of Hickory will be involved with. I wanted to talk about that just briefly and whether you see more of this coming on down the road with trying to get together with everybody else, because the rising tide helps all the different communities. You mentioned Target, although not located specifically within the City of Hickory limits. Good for the City of Hickory and commerce throughout.
Well, a lot of people who live in Hickory work there.
Right.
A lot of people who live in Hickory provide health care.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Retail, financial services to the people who work there. So, no, that is good for Hickory, and in fact, Hickory participated in that by conceding a transportation priority to allow that road to be built to Target.
How about the multi-jurisdictional park? You see more things like that happening? You like that project? You like that idea?
Well, I like the idea very much, where there is maybe a will but not a way for a particular municipality to pull something off. And that was great, because we pooled the risk, we pooled the resources, and we make something happen because we know where the spot is, and the added resources of county and 4 municipalities enable us to make that happen. I think we'll see more of those. I'm not going to say that's going to become the modus operandi for economic development here, but I do think we'll see more of that.
When it's appropriate, go for it.
Yes.
Very good. And just real quick before we wrap up, we're going to have a busy week next week. Our staff is going to be, of course, we'll pick up the morning show. Only time we do it all year long. It's the only time we ever go out to and pick up the show. We're going to be at the Greater Hickory Classic, and I'm sure that you're going to be at the golf tournament. I guess you're going to be at Oktoberfest. You're going to be. Tell me about next week and your schedule as the mayor. Well,
it's going to be challenging. I got some practice in this weekend. On Friday, starting at 4:00, I had an interview with a young lady who is getting her doctorate from South Dakota, and she wanted to interview. Her project is to look at local government and how various aspects of local government. And then I went to Cooperative Christian Ministries.
Right.
To play the Chicago mayor in the 20s. And I had done a little shopping also. I had the spats, and I had the fedora with the white ribbon, and
oh wow, very nice,
and a fairly garish tie and all. But in the middle of that, I did a proclamation honoring David Allen, who was the scout executive for this area for decades. And he's retiring. So what I did, I left CCM about 20 after 7, and I drove out to the lake to a private residence to do the proclamation. And then I turned back around and came back in time for the solving of the murder mystery.
Wow.
So
stayed pretty busy.
Hey, and I don't have a limo. I don't have an entourage. It was just me and my Prius.
In the office. That's right, the office on wheels. But no, you're going to be busy. We thank you very much for your time here this morning. We thank you for what you're doing for the City of Hickory. And we appreciate you providing this time for the citizens to be able to call in with any questions or comments. So
and I'm never too busy to talk to the voters of Hickory. Call me. I will talk to you about anything affecting your tax dollars or your pothole or the street light out. Just call me.
Very good. We're going to go ahead and close the way we normally do Monday through Thursday with the greatest song in the world for the greatest nation in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.